Which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm sorry to say we at Dishing Out are unable to respond to this query, and I, for one, prefer to eschew such ontological debates in favor of a more practical question. How many different tasty ways can I get the product of chicken sexual reproduction, i.e. the egg, into my mouth? Well, off the top of my head, I can think of at least 5. You've got baked, boiled, poached, scrambled, and fried. Egg cookery can be intimidating, and the results often underwhelming, but it is a necessary skill for all well-versed cooks. So, hang out with us for the next few minutes. We'll apply a little science, skill, and technique, and have you ready to get cracking, whether it's breakfast for one or brunch for a crowd. We'll begin with basic boiled eggs. So in a pot of water, add about a teaspoon of baking soda, and make sure you have enough water to cover your eggs. I'm just doing 6 for now. Once you've got your eggs in, you're going to go ahead and put that to high heat. Wait patiently while your water comes up to a boil, and as soon as it does, slam on the lid, turn off the heat, and remove the pan from the heat. Now, if you want soft boiled eggs, you're going to want to wait 4 minutes. If you want medium boiled eggs, you're going to need to wait 7 minutes. And for hard boiled eggs, you're going to need to wait 12. I ran out of fingers. 12 minutes. Once your desired doneness has been achieved, take the lid off, and using a pair of tongs, relocate the eggs into a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking process. To crack, simply bash the egg gently, is that an oxymoron, onto a flat surface and peel off the shell. Helps to do this under running water. Once you've got the shell off, if you've not been doing it underwater, just dunk it in your bowl, and there you have one perfectly hard-boiled egg. Now for our fried eggs, we're going to add a tablespoon of olive oil to a non-stick skillet, and we're going to put it over medium-low heat for 4 to 5 minutes. That'll let the oil get nice and warm. Go ahead and crack your egg or eggs in. I'm going to do 2. And then put a lid on the pot, or if you don't have one, use some aluminum foil. Now we need to wait exactly 2.5 minutes, and in 3, 2, 1, there you go. Perfectly fried eggs. I'm going to season mine with a little Cajun seasoning. You'll notice the whites are not browned, they're perfectly set, the yolks are not overcooked. Go ahead and serve that up with some bacon, or some bacon and sausage for a proper American breakfast. Now for our scrambled eggs, we're going to be using a non-stick skillet, again over medium-low heat. Get your eggs in, I have 4 there, and begin stirring almost immediately. You want very small curds and very creamy eggs. Now add 1 tablespoon of butter per every 2 eggs in your pan, so that's 2 tablespoons of butter, and continue to stir almost constantly as your eggs begin to scramble. You'll notice the butter will melt in and become very creamy. What we're trying to do here is cook the eggs without forming large curds so that they're still very soft and moist when we go to eat them. Go ahead and add a pinch of salt. Go ahead and stir that in. And I know I sound like a broken record, but just keep stirring. You'll notice they will start to cook eventually, but we don't want to let any of them sit on the bottom of the pan too long, lest they get dry. Now when the eggs are starting to hold their shape and most of the moisture is gone, go ahead and evacuate those to a bowl. There's still a lot of residual heat in there, and if you don't get them out now, they will overcook. Now you can eat these as they are, but I find the best application is some breakfast tacos. I have here some chorizo, our eggs, pepper jack cheese, some pico de gallo, and some home fries. Now let's move on to our baked eggs, or in this case, a frittata. I've got 1 tablespoon of butter over medium heat, and I'm going to put about half of a bell pepper in there, along with 4 to 5 whites of a green onion. Go ahead and beat up 1 egg for every inch of pan that you have. So that's an 8-inch skillet. I'm putting in 8 eggs. But first, some ham. That's 4 ounces of ham. We're just going to warm it through, along with a few stalks of asparagus cut into 1-inch pieces. Season that with salt and pepper, and now we can add our eggs. Go ahead and season your eggs with salt and pepper as well. And the final ingredient we will need before putting it into the oven is some feta cheese. The This is going to go into a 350-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until the eggs have just cooked through and set. It should be soft but not liquidy on top. Garnish with some hot sauce, feta cheese, green onions, really anything of your choice, and you've got a delightful breakfast, brunch, or even dinner entree. Finally, we move on to poached eggs and eggs Benedict. Crack an egg and through a mesh strainer, or if you don't have one like me, a narrow slotted spoon, we're trying to get off the very liquidy whites around the egg white itself so that the eggs don't get wispy in the water. See, that stuff on the right, we don't need that. In a large pot of water that is just below a simmer, go ahead and add your eggs carefully and one at a time. You want to give them some space as well, so try and work around the edge of the pan, kind of clockwise or counterclockwise, leaving a couple inches between each egg. They need exactly 3 minutes for perfectly poached eggs, just like that one. Finally, our hollandaise. In a blender, put 3 egg yolks, a squeeze of lemon juice, a pinch of salt, a shake of cayenne pepper to your taste, and about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Go ahead and lid on and open up your spout and add 1 stick of very hot melted butter, like just out of the microwave hot. It has to be hot or it won't work. Speaking of things that don't work, me and this blender right now. Come on, man, get with it. Oh, there we go. Drizzle in your butter and let it blend for 30 to 60 seconds until it thickens and comes together. To serve, plate up your eggs and hollandaise over some Canadian bacon and toasted English muffins, gratuitous hash browns in the back, and speaking of gratuitous, look at that yolk. So as I hope you've seen, no matter how you crack them or cook them, as long as it's done right, eggs are an incredible, edible treat. Now it's up to you to go and do as we always ask. Make something delicious. And that's no yolk. Sorry, you knew it was coming.